to our first ever Christmas special, Christmas extravaganza. Maybe we can call it that.
Yeah, it's missing extravaganza.
My name is Ethan Downing.
And I'm Robert Kirkendall III.
Yep, and this is the Downkirk Podcast. And I don't know why, but I've been really itching to talk with you about this, about silent films. But
yeah.
I was looking. One of the reasons why I like silent films, and I've been getting into it a little bit more, because I like history, and I like the idea that something like just barely survived. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was looking up like how many silent films were even made. Can you guess the number? Obviously, the number, they gave me an exact number on this website, but there's not really. You can't. I mean, new ones are getting found every day. So
well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, a lot of them are lost.
A lot of them are lost in that not only are they lost, like they don't have a copy of it, they're lost in that when they find it, they didn't even know it was lost. Like they didn't even know it was ever made in the first place. Some movies.
Yeah.
But can you guess what the number was on this?
If I had to guess, I'd say like 10,000.
Dude, it was 10,000. That was a
really?
Good guess. Yeah. And then
lucky.
I know, right? And then, but of those 10,000, I was like, man, that's so low. But I remember thinking it's so hard to make a film back then as opposed to now.
Well, on top of that, like you said, they're finding. Is that how you eat a candy cane?
I don't know how to eat it. That's what I'm saying. I was telling you it's going to look gay for me to eat a candy cane on air. You like eat some Christmas foods, and I'm like, I don't know how you're supposed to eat it.
Also, I have eggnog. I have eggnog right here. I don't know. I love eggnog, and we'll get to that in a second. But anyways, of all the silent films that they have, right? They're finding out that ones exist. So really, if I had to guess how many have been created, I'd probably guess in the hundreds of thousands, and just overall, because some dude. I mean, look how Thomas Edison started it, right? Like he literally just recorded his factory workers just walking outside. You know what I mean? Like that's a movie. That's a movie right now, technically. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying 10,000 films were ever made, and only about 2,700 are still around today. Because if you think about it, there's not really a lot. Like I was looking like the best films, because remember I was telling you I want to watch a film from every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only 2 years I don't have for the 1920s is 1923 and 1924. And so for 1924, I was looking at like best movies in 1924 on a movie box, and the movie Greed popped up. And so I'm probably watching.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. No.
Oh, Greed actually was also destroyed. Parts of it were like cut. It originally had a 7-hour cut or like 8-hour cut. I can't remember how long specifically, but anyways, the director had to cut like it down to 2 hours, and so that's the one we have now.
I also really want to watch the 5-hour silent film Napoleon.
Yeah, that came out. That's Abel Gance.
That was like 29 or something, right? That was like 27.
20. Yeah, right around there. Dude, it actually is the only movie, or it was for a long time. It literally had 3 projectors going at once, so where it had like 3-to-1 aspect ratio. It's the largest aspect ratio I think you can get.
How will that, what does that mean for me as
yeah, so it means that there were 3 different screens playing at once. That's how big the screen was. So like a normal screen, right? But then 3 at once. And then that kind of like gave way to like widescreen later on, where we have like the, you know what I mean? Like the little bar.
Oh, okay. Wait, so when I watch it, like if I were to watch it right now, it would be like wider than normal silent film?
Yeah, and actually at times the different colors, because the French flag is like red. I think it's red, blue, right? I think that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
They'll put one of them's like in red. The one on the left is in red, and then the one in the middle is white, and then the one on the right is blue, to represent the French flag at times. Or I've seen that.
I always thought that stuff was really cool though, because like I'm watching a film, and this is the 1 out of 100 that is all like exists.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, dude, there's this cool thing. Guy Madden, this famous filmmaker, he did experimental filmmaker. He did this thing where you can go online. It's called Seance, like.com, I think, or Seance. Anyways, and you can watch. He created this like algorithm thing where it'll like pump out a video. If you click play, right, it'll just play a random video. And the reason why he did it though, it's like silent film styled stuff, is because he wanted to emulate that idea of the silent film era where you'd go to a movie theater and you'd see a movie, but then you may never see that movie ever again. Like that movie may not exist. Like people may not even know it exists. You saw it at the theater as a kid, but you don't even know now because
it's being away. It's like it's gonna go away. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. And so you can only watch this movie one time. It only create this exact movie one time. Now that doesn't mean the scene won't come up in another movie that it generates, but it means that this movie, the way it's made, will only exist once. And so
did they do that again?
They did that through like an algorithm thing, like a machine, like an AI.
Oh, it like generated images from like a memory bank of a certain number of like clips or images.
Scenes, yeah. It created like a movie out of a certain amount of scenes, and they cut it at different points and stuff. But it's really funny though, because like one time me and my friend were watching one, and it was the funniest one, dude. It was literally about a man kidnapping this woman and like holding her hostage, and then like, but because it's like edited with a bunch of scenes, it would like jump around and then it would come back to that scene though, like where they show you what happens. But it was just so funny because you see like at some point the man who kidnapped her was her father, and then you find out that it wasn't her father. It was very odd. It was really funny though.
Sounds like it's, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like it sucked. but wait, where do you go to watch that? What type of movie is that?
It's called like you go online. It's like seance.com or seance. It's SEANCE, I think.
Seance.com, okay.
Or something like that. Or something like, I mean, you can Google that and then Guy Madden, GUY space, obviously, MADDIN.
Okay, I'll have to be sure to check that out.
Yeah, the audience should check it out too because it's hilarious. No, it didn't suck. It's just funny because it's so random. Is my point. It's so random. It's literally the most randomest thing. Like you'd watch it and like you'd see a man in prison for beating somebody with a chicken, or like something really odd, and you're like, what? Why would he beat him with a chicken? Because I think the subtitles or the title cards are also auto generated. Like they're randomized. So it'd be like. And then it'll be like, why'd you slap my daughter, in the face with a hot dog? like, what?
Oh, man. That's so crazy. Yeah, the sound of film was insane. Like,
dude.
Like, one thing that gets me, right?
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to watch the oldest film ever. And in film, I mean, like, our modern day definition of a film. Like, a modern day, like a feature length.
So you don't mean the
narrative film.
Yeah, you don't mean the guy on the horse running, right? Or it's just a bunch of images.
A lot of people don't even consider that the first video. Some people consider the Roundtree Garden of the round. I think it's called the Roundhay Garden of 1888. It was just a scene of people in a garden, just like walking, like that's it.
Yeah,
it was in 1888.
Is it a Lumiere film? A Lumiere?
It might have been. Yeah, it was in England. So.
Well, that's the thing, dude. There's actually, I don't know if you knew this. It's crazy. There's like 3 or 4 inventors who claim to have invented the cinema. So like you have the Lumiere brothers, you have Thomas Edison, and then you have somebody in England. There's like, it's so weird.
And you have the guy who's with Edison who claims that he invented everything, and Edison just took credit for it. Because I was watching a documentary about that, and the other guy was like, you really have to give him 50-50 credit, because it's like, but the thing is that the first ever feature-length narrative film was in 1906, and it was The Story of the Kelly Gang, which they still have 17 minutes of today that you can watch. My thing is, that was the first ever feature-length narrative film. There was an older film in 1902, I think, was Jack Johnson versus Jim Jeffries in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
And I think they used like an insane amount of film. They used like 30,000 feet of film to like record this thing for an hour and 40 minutes. Because it kept burning through film the way cameras were back then at such an incredible rate. But the oldest surviving feature-length film to this day is El Inferno from 1911.
Yeah. What did you said it was 1902, right? The Jack Johnson. That's when they would have cranked him, right? So like that would
maybe the guy was just like going crazy.
He just we're gonna pop this one in slow-mo.
He's like, how much film have we gone through? About 3,000 yards of film. Like, dude, we've only been recording for 8 seconds, dude. Yeah. What are you doing?
Could you imagine though if like he like so the first 8 minutes of it, he went through like 3,000 yards, and like we're gonna need to slow it down. So they get in there and they're like really slowing it down. It's like his fist is like right here, and then it's already connected, and the next frame just jumps.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
Like, and you're like, oh man.
But even that footage, there's only like segments of it that are still around today. And I'm thinking of like from 1905 or 1906 to 1911, That was 5 years where feature-length films were made, and 0 of them exist. 0. There's not one.
You know what's crazy about Birth of a Nation is that movie was made. It's like a 3-hour movie. Because we talked about this in my film class, but it was made, and the guy didn't even have a script. Like he just shot it like in his head. Like he just like went out there and like, yeah, let's just do this and we'll do this, and it was crazy.
You can't really have a script. I mean, the only script, there's no words except for the cards.
Well, what I mean is he didn't even have. He just had the book because it's based off of a book. I think he just had the book. He just had the book, and that's how he shot it. And I'm like thinking, dude, you imagine him being like, oh yeah, what scene do you want to shoot now? And he has to like flip through this freaking book to find it. I just mean that's ridiculous. Like that's so impractical. I don't know how he did it. And considering how like you know, it's weird how good it is because it really is extremely good. Like in terms of how well made it is for like a silent movie. It's actually pretty action packed. You know.
Well, what I like about it is it was a production.
Yeah.
Some movies that I've watched that are super old, they don't even feel like anyone cared. Like even the people in them. Whereas like, and there wasn't any stunts, there wasn't anything crazy done in them. Like I saw one of Charlie Chaplin's like first feature-length films, Tilly's Punctured Romance.
Yeah.
That film was mostly just people falling over. That was their form of comedy. It's just, oh, I just fell over for the 80th time in this movie. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, it's a lot of like he said, she said kind of thing going on. It just seemed like no one really cared. Whereas like the thing about Birth of a Nation that is kind of cool is that a lot of time and money and effort went into it. There's scenes where they're showing like Civil War battles where I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks like how you think it would look. Like they had like 200 people on one side, 200 people on the other side. They had like those what was it? Wasn't it like a pop gun or something? What they use? It was like gunpowder but with no bullet.
Yeah, where they pump it in.
Yeah, but nothing, no projectile comes out. But
well, what's crazy to me too about like Birth of a Nation is that it literally, it's weird to me how, first off, that's why these movies are still around, right? Because like people can make racist movies and we don't ever talk about them, but both that movie and freaking that Nazi one that's really famous, Triumph of Will,
which I still want to see.
Yeah, Triumph of Will. It's because they're so well made. I mean, Star Wars, literally, they talk about how they take it directly from Triumph of Will. I mean, because they wanted to represent this fascist, like, you know, imagery throughout. And it's just interesting to me how, like, they're so well made. Like, you can't, it's almost awful. You know, I mean, it is awful, but I'm saying it's awful in the sense of, like, you can't get away from the fact that Birth of a Nation was really impactful. You know what I mean? As a film. Like, it really did push the medium film so much forward. I mean, dude, I've seen movies. The only other person I can compare to who's like as good in my opinion as a filmmaker that early on would have been like I'm trying to think like Abel Gance, like you were saying, who did Napoleon, but he was still in the 20s even. That's what I'm saying. In the 1910s, there's really nobody else in that era that it was even as, you know, good. Like
D.W. Griffith was like the king of the 1910s.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, though, what's his face? There's this famous article by, his name's James Agee, famous critic. But he talked about how whenever you watch those movies, Birth of a Nation, specifically, he said it's almost like he took the Matthew Brady photographs and he literally turned them into like moving images. You know what I mean? And then obviously Woodrow Wilson, he said it was, he's quoted as saying it's history written in lightning, which is like, which I think really just speaks more to the power of film rather than actual historical artifact that it is. Because I mean, the movie's literally about the birth of the KKK. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm sure some of those things did happen, but like maybe not in the degree. Like, obviously, the KKK does exist. You know, no one's saying it doesn't, and they definitely did it because of like the post-Civil War. You know what I mean? But like, it wasn't because white people were being so oppressed by the blacks in the South. I mean, that part is a little bit much.
That movie is, it's literally like Reefer Madness, quality of bad. In terms of like its logic. It's so...
Like, if you smoke weed, you're going to jump out the window and kill yourself. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, dude. Like,
But yeah, dude, speaking of movies, though, what are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Favorite Christmas movies? Elf is always good. I mean, the thing is that every year, I just did this again. It happens to me every year. I always am like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch a bunch of Christmas movies. I'm gonna get so into Christmas. I'm gonna put up a tree. On December 2nd, I'm over it. I'm already like, I'm Christmased out. You know what I mean? That's
Really?
the problem.
I haven't even. Go ahead.
There's too many similar themes throughout Christmas, and there's too many like I like heartfelt moments. I like heartwarming moments between family. I like romance sometimes too, but too much of that in a row is too much. Whereas like I never get tired of action, and I never get tired of comedy. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. To me, Christmas movies are really great, and I really do enjoy them. And I think you can pick like that's the thing about Christmas movies that I really like is sometimes you have some as odd as like, I mean, dude, I think Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen Eyes Wide Shut with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise? I mean, that one takes place during Christmas, and so I'm like,
I don't really like it.
So I like it, but I get why you don't like it. But my point is that you have such odd entries like that and Die Hard, you know what I mean? And then you have movies that are clearly Christmas movies, like A Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life. And I think what I really like about Christmas the most is that Christmas is kind of just like a moment. Christmas stands in for just the last half of the year. You know what I mean? Like, it's really just the last half. I mean, I remember people started putting up lights this year right after Halloween. Like, literally right after Halloween.
I mean, no one was celebrating Christmas on June 1st, if that's what you mean. I mean,
no. What I'm saying is the last half is in like, it literally is the last 2 months. It's just been Christmas. And I think it's really great to some extent because it's just nice. You know what I mean? And I don't listen to Christmas music all that much. And so I don't know. I don't get Christmased out because I never allow myself to even get that deep into it. Like I'm always like, I'm going to watch 3 or 4 movies and I'll be good. Right? Like I'm probably going to watch a SpongeBob Christmas special. I haven't seen that in too long. We were talking about that before we got on, but
SpongeBob Christmas special?
Yeah, dude.
You like the old one? Like, wait, did they shoot one back in the early 2000s?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I have it on my first 100 episodes DVD.
I haven't watched that. I forgot that even existed until just
now. Dude, that's definitely the one I'm going to watch this year. I'm also going to watch A Christmas Story because I watch it every year.
I want to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not labeling it a movie because it's not. For the listeners who don't know, I only consider it a movie if it's at least 45 minutes long.
It is. That's actually 45 minutes long. I don't know if you knew that.
I looked it up and it said 41.
Oh, is it 41? Okay. Well, maybe I saw 40. I don't know. I thought I saw it at 45.
Maybe it's 41 and then 4 minutes of credits. Which I don't know. All right. If someone says, all right, that's a good question though. So if you look up a movie and it says like an hour and 36 minutes, but like 6 of those minutes are credits, are they including that in the runtime? Are the credits?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, dude, what was that Jackie the Foreigner? Do you want to watch The Foreigner? And the first 5 minutes were just the opening, and that wasn't even opening credits. It was the opening logos of the companies that had produced the film. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We're even like, I think we're the only ones in theater. We're like, is it just going to keep going? Like, is this the movie? Like,
I always thought that would be hilarious to have different production companies for an hour and a half. Like one is like a plane landing, like, and it says like Light Pictures, and then one is like a guy walking and he sits down on a bench and then a bunch of birds fly away and it says One Shot Pictures or something. It's like always like
I think it's funny to me how like some productions, right, some of those like little production clips for the production companies, they're like 3 seconds, they're 30 seconds usually, right? Some of them are so intricate though, they look like actual movies. Like I'm like, all right, here we go, right? I've literally thought the movie was starting a couple of times on them. You know what I mean? And then I'm like it's not.
There's a crazy production one for RRR, because it's an Indian movie. There's an Indian production company that has like the craziest one ever. It's like a dude walking, and then his whole body turns to flower petals, and the flower petals drift into the wind, and then it gets caught up into the shape of a bird, and then it flies toward the sun and disappears, and you're like, what?
They just like a whole story.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Dude, we should create a production company where like every time it goes on there, it's a different logo, but like sometimes it's just weird. Like for instance, one would just be us going like, you know, I'd like to apologize to my fellow, you know what I mean? It's like an apology video. Dude, what if it's Richard Nixon's resignation video? And then it's like the logo's like, he goes like this and the logo pops up on the page or something.
It's just him going, I am not a crook.
Yeah, and then like, yeah. Or like, it's like, yeah. It's like different ones. It's like it could be. I'm trying to think of other like seminal moments that we saw.
The JFK assassination where he gets his head blown off. It just they just show how hilarious
It explodes into like the writing on the wall. Explodes into like the logo.
It just says,
dude, it's a dude. What if it was Nickelodeon?
Like, oh yeah, he got slimed. Well, it would be really hilarious if it was just like it was like 1 second, but during that 1 second, it was JFK just like in that one.
Dude, speaking of that video, I don't know why, but that video is so like iconic in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like
I don't think I've ever actually seen the gore of that.
Okay, so I've watched that video quite a bit, which is weird, but I watch it because it's so historical. You know what I mean? Like, and I've watched like documentaries on it, and I've watched, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that's a rabbit hole. When people talk about like falling down a rabbit hole, the JFK assassination is so deep.
Is that the most popular conspiracy theory of all time? It's either that or the fake moon landing. Either one of those.
I feel like, dude.
Or flat Earth. Flat Earth is pretty popular now.
Extremely popular now. I feel like the other one that's just popular. Yeah. Dude, you remember
because they finally found out the truth.
Do you remember one video we watched where they literally proved that the Earth wasn't flat? Where they're like, well, it'll be 6 degrees off. Like, and they spent like $40,000 on this laser.
Yeah, dude. So it's this thing that any flat earther can buy. And it's this super high-powered laser that can shoot like miles and miles. And it costs like $20,000. And there's this movie, I forgot, it was on Netflix. I watched it. It was a documentary about flat Earth. And it's called like Behind the Curve or Flattening the Curve or something with the word curve. And then it just talked about, it was literally just a bunch of people talking about how they didn't have any friends and they just made a bunch of friends through the flat Earth community. It wasn't talking about like, this is why it's real. It was more just talking
That's so funny. Yeah, I met Jackie through the flat Earth community, and I met John.
Like one dude's like, I met my wife through the flat Earth community, and they have like kids, and their kids think the Earth is flat too. And I'm like, none of that is evidence that it's flat. Like, you know what I mean? I can't just say like, oh, why do you believe Christ, is real and that he's a Messiah? And be like, oh, I met my buddy Rick at the church, and me and him are best friends, so that's why I believe.
Dude,
I'd be like, what?
I was just thinking, what if their kids were flat? Like they're normal people, but then their kids are like Flat Stanley. They're like 2D. That's like
we don't serve waffles in this house. Okay.
Oh my god, they like crepes. They eat crepes. They're just like extremely, everything's thin.
Yeah, extremely. No, but like the thing with the documentary is they get the laser, and they literally like they're gonna show this footage at the Flat Earth convention. So it's like a big production.
It's a big
with like directors with headsets and stuff like that. Like it's a big thing. All these people.
You see like a dude like, all right, we're gonna need, and he's like pointing and he's got like a
head with a boom mic. And then so the experiment is that there's 3 people, right? There's one right in front of the laser. The laser's here. There's one person a mile and a half away, and another person 3 miles away on a really flat plane, right?
Flat Earth, yeah.
And they're each holding a sign, and the sign is like a certain distance from the ground. Like they're all the signs are like 5 feet from the ground, let's say.
Okay.
And so if the Earth really is flat, then the laser will go right through the hole in the sign at the same level. But if it's curved, then it'll go through way higher, way above the sign on the 3 mile guy. And so that's what happened. Literally, the guy in the second and on the mile and a half mark. So obviously, the guy in the first one who's right next to the laser, it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
But then the guy at the mile and a half mark is like, it's like right at the top edge of the hole. And they're like, okay, well, let's see what the 3 mile guy's like, yeah, I don't see the laser at all. Have you guys turned it on? And then they're like, yeah, dude. And then he like climbs on a ladder and he's like, get up, put it like above your head. And then it puts it like way up above his head. And then it's like, oh, there's the laser. And then the guy's literally just like, F. Like, I wasted my life on this. Like, he's literally just like, Jesus. and that's how the documentary ends. It's so awesome.
Hold up. This is what I love about it. They were so confident they didn't even have other 3 mile radius. They didn't even have like a thing to where they could find the laser. Like they're just like, yeah, it's gonna go through the hole.
It's gonna go right through the soda can sized hole.
It's not gonna be anywhere else. Why would it be anywhere else? I mean, but even if it was slightly off, I could see that. But like you're saying, like it literally was a 6 degrees up that it needed to be.
Yeah, it was like the exact height up that would have been the curvature of the Earth.
Dude, it's so funny to imagine. Like, are you sure you don't? Oh, all right. Oh, you see? Oh, it's right where it should be if the Earth wasn't flat. Oh, are we like on a bumpy part? I don't like. Is this? He's like, I think we're on a hill.
And the guy's like being super condescending. He's like, I don't know about that, Craig. You sure about that? Like,
what if the guy who like set it all up was like, I don't believe you. I have to go see this. Like, I have to go see this.
He had to hold the sign himself.
The Earth is. I don't know. He has to walk the 3-mile radius back. He's just running back and forth for 3 miles.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
You guys tilted. No, you guys. No, you tilted the laser. I saw that. We didn't. We didn't.
It's so crazy. I think it's crazy that people take it seriously. Like, people legitimately get upset when people talk about the flat Earth. But I'm like, you know that 9 out of 10 of those people are just joking. They're either just joking, or they're just trolling people, or they're just trying to make people upset.
Well, and on top of that, it's like I was telling you sometimes. Like, sometimes, if we're making, like, let me put it this way. If we make decisions based off of the Earth being flat, like significant decisions, as like a country and stuff, that's a problem, right? But if we're just
something we can laugh about.
If we're just talking about it, what is it? I mean, that's like talking about what's the best Christmas movie. I mean, that doesn't determine who, anything important.
Like, if someone wanted to say, like, that the sun revolves around the Earth, not the Earth around the sun, and the sun is, like, way smaller than the Earth, like, the opposite.
I mean, that's definitely absurd.
It's definitely not true, but, like, who cares? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, really, what doesn't matter, right? Especially with, and the thing is, again, we're not making, if you're saying, hey, the sun, if you're saying that, and then you're saying, hey, I'm the head of NASA, I mean, that's an issue.
Yeah, I'm John NASA.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, can we put this to a vote? Can we not, like, who do we vote for this guy? Like, what,
I'm the head of the board, and they agree with me, so I'll be like, okay. What have you been bundling?
I've been making a little, dude, this is a Christmas food over here, yeah.
Fuddling around with
crackers, I got cheese, and I got meat. I got some meat. Christmas meat.
The audience has seen nothing but the top of your forehead for the last, like, 4 minutes now that you've been doing that.
Yeah. No, dude, look, it's like, I love how Christmas gives us an excuse to have, like, I don't know, meat like this. You know what I mean? Just a slice of meat.
I don't really think that that's a Christmas thing. I've had meat and cheese platters all the time.
No, but, like, I feel like, but this is, like, the one I bought was specific to Christmas. But I feel like they're just, I'm not saying they're not always around, but I'm saying specific types of meats, for Christmas.
Christmas ham is like a tradition for some people.
Well, yeah, so, like, this is like heavier, thicker meat, like winter meat, I don't know what makes a winter meat, but it's the same way, like let me put
just made that up. Totally just made up.
There's like a winter, there's a winter meat, dude. That's like a
section. If I look up winter meat, it's not going to be like, did you mean this kind of meat? People's going to know what I mean.
I think it would, yeah. Let me put it this way. Turkey, you can have turkey year round, right? But turkey, specifically during Thanksgiving, a thicker cut of turkey is, like, obviously more of like an, you're looking
November's not in the winter. That's not, it's fall.
It's not winter. I didn't bring up November. I'm just saying that's an example of turkey. This isn't turkey. I bet winter meat will pop up something.
Winter meat. What meat is best in winter? What is winter meat? Question mark.
What is winter? That's okay. Look at that. But somebody said it. What
is the best winter food? What meats are good served cold?
It's a winter, dude. It's a winter meat.
32 ways to make winter cuts of meat sling.
Winter cuts of meat, though. That's a thing.
Not winter meat. No one says, let me get a cut of that winter meat.
That's a thing, dude.
That should be the name of this podcast episode, Winter Meat.
Winter meat. All right, we can do that.
But to answer your question that you asked a while ago on what my favorite Christmas movie is, I think it might be, man, the Home Alones were just so good. It might be the Home Alones, and I'd probably say the second one because I like New York City more. And I love that scene where, is it Tim Curry who plays the butler, the concierge guy?
I think so.
He's in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And he gives Kevin McAllister like a hot cheese pizza, and it like you can see the smoke coming off of it in the cold winter air, and when he gets into the 90s limousine that has like a corded phone there and like a little mini box TV, and it's awesome.
Dude, when I was a kid, I wanted to be Macaulay Culkin. He always seemed to have the best life, like as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, who doesn't want to be Macaulay Culkin? I mean, maybe not Macaulay Culkin now. Less famous Macaulay Culkin. Who's the most successful child actor ever, do you think? You think it's Leonardo DiCaprio?
Shirley Temple?
No, I meant like that was successful carried their success on to adulthood. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the only one I can think of. Or Drew Barrymore.
Johnny Depp, Drew Barrymore.
Was Johnny Depp in when he was like a kid, like a minor? He was in films?
Maybe not. Let's say he's not, right? But then, because I can't recall, but I think like 16, so I don't know if that, but like.
I would still consider that. Yeah. I'm talking, but if they started at 18, I wouldn't consider it that.
Yeah. And then also Christian Bale was in Empire of the Sun.
When he was a kid?
Yeah, when he was a kid. Actually, Steven Spielberg discovered him.
Ben Stiller was, I think, when he was a kid, because his dad was.
Oh yeah, Ben Stiller. Yeah.
Jerry Stiller was an actor.
I think. Yeah, Shirley Temple. Oh yeah, but you meant like I forgot. Yeah, sorry.
He's probably the most successful child star ever, though. I would say.
You know what's funny, dude? Think about this. Who's the most successful dog actor?
Well, there was the dog Duke, who was in a lot of John Wayne films early on in the 30s. It was like the same dog for like 20 films. So, is that one?
What about Beethoven? I feel like Beethoven.
You're talking like a physical dog, though.
Was that one dog?
Dude, Air Bud, the golden retriever from Air Bud. Assuming we just count all of the dogs they use for Air Bud.
No, that's what I was about to say, though. Are we counting one dog here? Because I think all the Beethoven ones were one dog.
You saying you think it was the exact same dog? It wasn't like a different dog?
Beethoven? Yeah. I mean, I think Air Bud was different dogs.
How many Beethovens did they make? Because I know for sure only the first one is on my list, but I might have watched the second one and just not remembered it. Can you look that up to see if it was?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to guess now. Wait, how many Beethovens?
I think there were 5 Beethovens.
Dang, really? That many?
Let's see, though. Wow, dude, it came out in 92. Didn't realize that. Yeah, Beethoven franchise. All right, let's see. There are 8 American films.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what are their titles? Is it 1 through 8?
Let's see. Well, here we go. Films. Beethoven's second.
Beethoven. Wait, let me guess. Is there an Unleashed? Beethoven Unleashed?
Beethoven's Big Break. So they all go all the way up to 5. They go all the way up to 5, and then it goes Beethoven's Big Break, then Beethoven's Christmas Adventure. Classic Christmas movie. And then literally it goes to, dude, Beethoven's Christmas Adventure, the Wikipedia page for Christmas Adventure is like, I mean, it's like 3 pages long. Like I'm just scrolling, and then every other Beethoven movie gets like a paragraph or 2. But Christmas Adventure, this person must have loved Christmas Adventure enough to like detail every single act in it, like every moment with, serene clarity.
It's funny how you can, when you're a kid, you can like really obsess over a movie and then just not care about it at all later. Like Good Burger, there's a year in my life where I thought Good Burger was the best like film ever made. Like not even just film, like of any captured video ever. Like I was just going on Google and writing 5-star reviews for Good Burger. And just,
how old were you going on Google and writing reviews?
I was 10. Yeah, I was using my dad's laptop. My dad had a thick boy laptop.
Hey, Dad. I need to write another Good Burger review. I'm down. I'm down today, Dad. Dad.
Me, little fat 10-year-old self, loves cheeseburgers and loves Keenan Thompson, and I'm just like, Good Burger, more like Great Burger, and then I just keep writing the review.
Could you keep on writing ones like that, dude? What do you remember? The scene in the opening of Spider-Man, the first one, Tobey Maguire. There's this guy who's eating a jelly-filled donut, right? And he eats it, and you can see him, and he's like, "I'm not that guy." And it's like shows the guy with like, by Mary Jane Watson. It's Flash. And then it shows the next guy, right? And he's eating the jelly-filled donut though, and he bites on the opposite side of the jelly-filled donut where he already bit on, and so it shoots the jelly out on the side. And I always thought that was so odd. And he says, "I'd even love to be that guy." You know what I mean? And then obviously it shows to him like being the guy who's running after the bus. But I was like, dude, what if you're eating your burger, like writing your Good Burger reviews, and you're like, and you're literally like eating your burger, but then it's like all ketchup filled, and you bite on the opposite side, and ketchup just shoots all over your dad's laptop. I love this movie so much.
Oh my god!
The last Beethoven movie is Beethoven. It came out in 2014. Beethoven's Treasure Tale, and Tale is Tail, obviously, because it's the dog movie.
Of course.
Okay, cast and crew. Characters: Beethoven. I can't tell. Oh, here we go, dude. Oh my gosh, there's a dog who played Beethoven. Okay, he played in Beethoven's third and fourth. Played in Beethoven's Big Break, and he played in Beethoven's Treasure Tale, and his name was Cujo. After that dog that like attacks people in the Stephen King book, that's so funny they named him Cujo.
Was he in Cujo? There was a movie called Cujo.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but he was named after Cujo. I don't know if he was Cujo. Was Cujo a Saint Bernard?
I think it was a Saint Bernard.
He might be Cujo. Maybe that's why they called him Cujo. Wouldn't that be funny to get your name? You just named Jaws. You named the shark Jaws.
Maybe because you'd only have to do it a year before. Like if you knew you were gonna make a movie a year from now, adopt a puppy Saint Bernard, call it Cujo, and it would just respond to those names.
True. Let's see cast. Who played Cujo?
But they don't name Cujo.
They don't have it. Okay, who played Cujo and Cujo? Also, dude, I want to see if if all the Airbud dogs were the same.
Actually, I'll check the Airbud real quick.
Yeah, check the Airbud for us, because I get the feeling that they weren't. Who played Cujo the dog? Oh, they had 4 different Saint Bernards. Dude, it says in some shots, stuntman Gary Morgan played Cujo while wearing a large dog costume.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine that, dude? They're like, all right, yeah, can you make your body more like a dog? Like they keep on like, I don't know, like just the way the costume sits on your body. It's not the same. Well,
they might have just shown like the paw, like coming across.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be so funny though. He's like a thumb. The paw is like a human thumb. So what'd you find?
So Buddy, the dog, is played by 6 different but similar-looking golden retrievers trained by Co. This guy named Co, I guess, who also trained dogs for the original Airbud. 2 of the dogs in the original film, Rush and Chase, are in the sequel for Airbud Golden Receiver. Oh, okay. I don't know what. Oh, because it's basketball, probably. The 2 main golden retrievers playing Buddy were Rush and Zach.
Dude, what's funny to me is that like if you have like a dog on movies, you can have like 3 or 4 different people, different dogs play the same dog because they don't have like enough distinctive features. But if you did that with a human, they'd be like, yeah, we have stunt doubles, but imagine if they had like 12 people play one character. Like,
that'd be pretty crazy.
We would know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes the Olsen twins, there's 2 of them, and they just moved them in and out for the same role a lot of the times, without anyone knowing, because they were identical twins.
But they're twins, though, yeah.
And so, because they were so little, they were toddlers. If one of them got tired or cranky, they would just move in with the other one. Yeah.
All right, listen, you're out, Mary. Get in the next one. First, here. But what if?
That was a problem when they did the reboot, because when they did the reboot, the youngest sister, who was played by both of the Olsen twins, just wasn't in the reboot, and it was because the twins were adults now, and they look, because when you're adults, you look like a little bit more different,
Yeah.
And they didn't. They kept arguing on who was going to play the daughter in the remake.
Dude, why don't they just? I mean, they can just switch them in and out, though. I mean, I know they're different.
Like 30-year-old women. You know,
I know that'd be different, but I'm saying like they could still. I mean, dude, I've seen people do crazy things in movies. Like if Avatar can like make people aliens.
Well, it's also a show in front of a live studio audience, so they do have some restrictions.
Well, what if I do? Have you seen some of those like live in front of studio audiences, or filmed in front of live studio audiences? I think they're lying. I don't think anybody saw that filmed it live. Like I don't. Have you ever? They always have the same.
That same guy laughed extra long and hard, longer than everybody else. The same way.
Yeah, it's that same dad in the background. Yeah, right. You just hear.
Is that one black lady that like can't stop cackling?
Dude, it's always without or like, dude. You know what would be funny if during the laugh track they had something really real happen. He's like, someone's laughing, like, oh, I'm choking, I am dying. He's like,
I'm having a heart attack.
Like in the middle of the track.
They leave it in. They like show paramedics like rushing in front of the cameras. They leave it in.
No, it's like recorded like this right now, but you just see like a police lights like flashing on like the
on like our faces.
Yeah, on the faces, and like they're like like trying not to look over there. You can tell like they're like trying. They're like, oh god, like yeah, like oh it's so funny, Jim. Like is he okay? Like they're mouthing.
They're like Trojan. and then I'm trying to say my lines, and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. But in the meantime, I'm going like, what the? I'm like every stunted back a little bit.
A large bang happens, and we're like, oh yeah, totally, man. Like it's like a filled scene too. Like it's like a really they're still supposed to laugh. The audience is still laughing over this man having like emergency surgery. No, we can't take him to the hospital. We got to do it here. Cut him open.
Cut him open. He's having a pulmonary chest contusion.
He's bleeding everywhere. There's so much blood.
There's like little speckles.
Yeah, you see blood splatter like on the audience or on the actors.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that'd be so funny.
I'm like, what kind of pot roast was it? And then I still have to say the line.
They just put it in. They don't even... Dude, I'll tell you what, dude, they'll do those for those soap operas. People who've worked on soap operas have talked about how they do one take. So if you mess up your line, they'll just keep it.
They don't care. They
don't care. They do not care. They literally, so little quality is going into that.
And then the guy, after they're done working their soap opera job, goes to work at like the Sinclair down the street.
They actually, yeah. You know what's funny though? Soap opera jobs actually play pretty well.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like I mean, like decent enough because I'm saying they always have to record. They have to keep up every single. You know what I mean? You're always in work.
Well, consistent work doesn't mean good work though.
No, but what I mean though is you have like minimum, right? You get paid minimum as an actor. I think it's like a certain amount. So like I think if you just get the minimum every day.
SAG.
Yeah, the SAG.
Well, the Screen Actors Guild, they call it SAG.
No, yeah, no, I know. It's funny that we have like initials. I don't know. You'd think they'd want, they'd think like look back on it and be like, I don't know, SAG is that?
I am kind of worried that my name is already going to be taken under the Screen Actors Guild. Like, there's already a director or an editor named Ethan Downing, and I'll have to like be. If I have to be Ethan Mark Downing, I would do that. Ethan Mark Downing still sounds decent.
Yeah, but those people aren't actors.
I'm saying, what if there is an actor though, who's like a star of like a bunch of independent films? Or
yeah,
something?
It's funny though because you listed people who weren't. You're like, I'm just really worried that if I go in there to be an actor, and
I just meant like someone I is not well known, but they already have the name though.
Dude, what I mean? Yeah. What if it was like a camera guy? Like it's like camera one. He's just like a guy who holds the camera. He's not even like a major guy, and he's like, yeah, sorry, bud. I told you about that guy I saw. His name was R.J. Kirkland III.
Kirkland.
My initials are.
Kirkland is way more common than Kirkendall.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's funny though because I could go by R.J. Kirkendall III. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could.
R.J. You go by E.M.
I hate the name Ian. It's
no,
gotta be Ethan.
I said E.M.
Oh, E.M. I can do E.M.
Yeah,
but then now I'm thinking of Ian every time we say E.M. So everyone.
The name's Ian Downing. Dude, you could like give people business cards. E.M. Downing.
Oh wait, let me show this off for the.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Oh,
Look at that.
it is like blindingly bright. I
It's
can definitely not.
Right. It is annoyingly bright.
Oh my gosh, turn the.
Dude, are you trying to get me a stroke? What was that? Was that strobe mode?
Yeah. Oh my
Dude.
gosh, dude! I couldn't believe how bright that was.
They should put, instead of strobe mode, they should put stroke mode, because that's really what they're doing. Have you seen those?
Oh, where like it goes like.
Yeah, well, that's what yours just did, dude. It was like, bah, 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 bah. At least it looked like that on the video.
Yeah, that's definitely what it looked like. I haven't watched this thing in like 4 years because it has wires all through it. So
what do you have to do? Take out the wires?
I just saw just now that there's a Velcro thing I can take off, but I didn't see that before.
4 years late, huh?
Yeah, well, it's also a scratchy sweatshirt, and the cuffs on it are way too long. Like I don't know.
I mean, you acted like that wasn't something you could just remedy by pulling them up a little. You were like,
No, but it's like super baggy.
and I just, my arm is like 5 inches too small. It's like, yeah, but I mean, people
I'm
like
telling you, naturally, without pulling it, it's like up to my.
That's how it sits. It looks like you're doing that. It looks like you're holding it there. It looks like you're like,
I'm holding it there.
I mean, look,
just
this hoodie's too big for me, but I just look at this. It just naturally sits right there.
I'm saying it's really baggy. It's really baggy on the arms, and so it could easily go like longer. You know what I mean? Easily, like it's a good 4 inches too long.
Yeah,
that's what she said. But I don't know, man. I'm not a big sweater guy. I like sweatshirts, like crew neck sweatshirts. I like those, but
I like sweaters. I like sweaters. I don't know. I don't find them uncomfortable.
I like the knitted material. You know what I mean? I like how that feels.
That's almost like a fake sweater, even though.
I mean, it was really. I don't even know what constitutes a sweater because, like,
it looks like a crew neck sweater. Like, really, I mean, that's about as like lack of sweater. It looks like it's pretending to be a sweater.
But it's got the little ridges on the neck.
Well, yeah. What's it made? I think it might be what it's made of. Like,
does it have to be made of wool for it to be considered a sweater?
I don't know. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like if you got like this right here is a hoodie, but why is it a hoodie? Because I have a hood, right? But I'm saying if it didn't have a hoodie, right? If it didn't have a hood, it wouldn't.
Neck sweatshirt.
Yeah, it would just be a sweatshirt, but it wouldn't be a sweater.
There is something that separates it. You're definitely right. I think sweatshirts are always made of cotton.
That might be it.
Cotton or polyester.
I think it's just actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might just be the way they're made, right? Is that like, does that have the like knitted feel to it?
It does have a knitted feel to it. Yeah, definitely.
It has a knitted feel on the skin. You're like, to the touch.
I'm doing this for you guys. The 11 subscribers we have, or hopefully up to this point, this video is being made.
At 11. Maybe it'll be 5. I mean, we have more than 5.
Maybe we'll lose. Maybe this sweater will lose subscribers for us.
They watch it and then they're like, "Nope, we'll pass on that one."
That was they were like, "Well, let me just see what the next episode's gonna be like, and then I'll decide whether to subscribe or not. As long as he doesn't wear some gay sweater, then I'll be fine. I'll keep watching."
As long as he cools it with the Minnesota talk, you know.
Yeah, cool. Like, chill out, man. I'm a Lions fan.
Dude, I get the feeling a lot of Browns fans are gonna like us. I don't know.
Why Browns fans?
I don't know. I feel like Browns fans are like the most scattered community in the football community. Like I don't know. They never seem very passionate. No offense, Browns fans, obviously, because I like
Browns. Were like selling out stadiums when the team left, and they were such big fans of the team that the NFL made them get the next.
Okay, look for this. Okay, wait. Let me hear me out though. How many Browns fans do you know?
I've known like 6 in the Marine Corps when I was serving. There's a lot of Browns fans.
Really?
6 different ones. Yeah, a lot of people are from Ohio. You know, it's like the 5th most populous state.
Yeah, dude. What do you rather like a Bengals fan? I don't know.
The Bengals were founded way later. They don't have a history of like NFL championships like the Browns used to, and they weren't started. They were both founded by Paul Brown. Paul Brown founded both teams. But like, there's a lot more history with the Browns because of that. And the Browns and the Bengals, I don't know if you knew this, had the exact same uniform. Their uniform is indistinguishable. The only difference is that it said Bengals on the side of the helmet, and then the Browns, it was just flat orange. But that's it. The original Bengals uniforms were just like the Browns uniform.
the Browns are sick, dude. I just do love the helmet.
I love their uniforms and their color. Yeah, for sure. But the Bengals, I've never been. They don't have that as much. No, but the Bengals do have that. They have been to a Super Bowl, and the Browns haven't.
Twice. Been to two Super Bowls, right?
Well, they went to the one just now. Then I think they were in one before.
Yeah. Yeah. So like,
is that like in the 90s? It was in the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s, 80s.
Okay. So around there.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I think it's interesting to like all the history about behind teams and stuff, you know? Like
I really want to get this sweet. You can buy a 1920s era Canton Bulldogs jersey.
Dude, I was about to say that to you, dude. I was about to say I really want to get a Canton Bulldogs thing, dude.
Because they were one of the first NFL champions.
Yeah, dude. Go ahead.
So if you look it up, there's two different. So technically, the Akron Pros are the first NFL champions, but for the first 2 years, it wasn't called the NFL. It's called like the American Football Professional, like something else. It was called something else. And so 1922 was the first year that it was called the NFL, like National Football League, and that was the year that Canton won. It was in 1922. And so Canton is technically the first NFL champions, but they won like 2 or 3 different championships from the 1922 to 1930. So they were a pretty good team.
No, they were. Didn't they have Jim Thorpe?
Jim Thorpe was he was big pre-NFL, like in the turn of the century as well. So I mean, he played in the NFL, but he was more big on like college and like pre-NFL.
Well, dude, you know those freaking. We were talking about that with the college teams where you have freaking Yale and Harvard have like X amount of championships just because they're really, Princeton, because they're the only teams that played.
Dude, can you list off the college championships again? Because that was hilarious. Remember when you were listing off who won each year?
All right, I'm gonna look up. What is it?
You that same list you had at one time. Yeah, this is hilarious.
It's funny.
College football has been going on 50 years longer than the NFL. So it has a lot longer history.
This is according to NCAA.com, by the way. Their official.
It's pretty reputable source.
Yeah. So actually, the first championship was won by Princeton and Rutgers. Right. The second one was Princeton. The third one doesn't have anybody. Princeton, Yale, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Yale, Princeton. Yale, Princeton, Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Yale, Pennsylvania, Princeton,
Penn,
Penn, Lafayette, Penn, Harvard, Yale, Michigan, Princeton, Michigan, Penn, Chicago.
What decade are we in?
We're in 1905 now.
That was only up to 1905?
Chicago's up, yeah, Chicago's 1905.
Oh my gosh.
Princeton, Yale, Penn, LSU, Yale, Pittsburgh, Harvard, Princeton, Penn State, Harvard, Army, Cornell. Now we start getting other teams. Yeah, okay.
That's a lot of Princeton and Yale and Harvard, though.
1913 is the last time. Well, Princeton even won in 1922. But like 1913 is when they started having like a way bigger league.
Where there's like 10, 12, 20 different colleges.
Yeah, there's actually competition. Yeah, because dude, these ones were Yale. Those dude are just Yale, one of the two teams in winning. Like
Yale just dunking on whatever like conglomeration of people that. Remember how me and you were talking about how what if? Was it me and you were talking about what if there was a plane crash right before the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Imagine the conference championships go down. They have an NFC winner and an AFC winner. Imagine if when they fly to wherever the Super Bowl is going to be in like Miami or Las Vegas or something, and an entire team just dies in a plane crash. Boy, what do you do? What are you supposed to do?
Well,
we still play a game.
Well, what if it's like? I think it would be funnier if it's like. I mean, funnier. Obviously, it's not funny at all if it happened. But in the scenario, it's funny to imagine like, what if it was just like only the kickers are left? They have to make a team of kickers.
Just the long snapper, the kicker, the holder, and the kicking team, like the block, like they have to. If you have 11 men on your team, you have to play. And so they just put a bullet in the long snapper's head, so they don't have to play. They're like, we have 11 people, so I'm sorry, man. You do the short straw.
Dang, we only have 10. I mean, you'd want to still play in the Super Bowl either way. Like, even if you were down all that. I mean, because like here's
that would be the craziest story of all time.
Nobody is like complaining about being in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Nobody's like complaining about that at all. You know,
That's
like
true. All the
they
media.
want to be now, and even if they lost, it would be a noble loss. You know what I mean? Like it really would be.
People would like. What if the other team just took a knee in honor of the other team?
Down for every down.
Because it would almost be worse for the winning team if you think about it. Because then now they get to be Super Bowl champions, but they didn't earn it.
Dude, like, yeah.
You know?
Do you think it would take away from Brady's legacy, or do you think it would add if he won against a team like that?
No, he would be in the press conference being like, I willed that plane to the ground. I prayed to the football gods to bring that plane down prematurely.
That stuff was crazy. Did you see that stuff about his ex-wife now, I suppose? His ex-wife, though, how she would like make little altars for him before the Super Bowl?
Come on, that's not real.
No, she would. I'm not joking.
Come on, dude. For real?
No, for real. Look it up. Look it up. It's not like, I'm not saying she was like praying to any gods, or I'm not like, I'm just saying.
What altar is for?
An altar was like, you know, like look at it. It looks like an altar. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the intentions behind it, but I'm saying it looks like an altar.
Should I look up if Bridget Moynihan did it or if Giselle did it?
No, Giselle.
Right.
Giselle, Brady altar.
Brady altar. I'm just gonna. It's gonna pop up some fans' altar of Giselle. One of the crazy pre-game rituals has him go through every week. Only a 41-year-old. And my screen went black for some reason. Can you look it up?
Yeah, I got it. Newsweekly. I don't know if that's a reputable source, but throughout his incredible career, Tom Brady has broken records. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Brady explained his wife prepares an altar for him at every game so he can feel the support of his family. Again, that's what his wordage is, altar.
Prepares an altar for him. They could just share.
I don't think so.
Because they could just be being dramatic.
This is what she says. She's about the power of intention, believing things that are really going to happen. And she always makes a little altar for me at the game because she wills it so much. Just wills it so much. So she puts together a little altar for me that I could bring with pictures of my kids. That sounds like an altar, dude.
Yeah, CBS Sports said the same thing. I need to see a picture of this altar. What does the altar look?
Look, I have these little special stones and healing stones and protection stones, and she has me wear a necklace and take these drops she makes.
Oh, that's some freaky, deaky, weird. Like that's like chicks who are into like Gemini or like the zodiacs and stuff.
She reads my astrological readings before every game to make sure.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. I hate I'm just saying, if you believe in zodiacs, you're a simple person. Okay, you should know that. Like come on. You really think the day of the year that you're born in?
Dude, they've actually proved
anything to your life?
Well, I mean, we've talked about this. I think it does mean stuff, but not like what they think, not based off the stars. But like, it's funny though because they've actually shown, they've done the study where they give people. This isn't it's facts. These are just facts, right? They did a study, and they gave people the same horoscope. Everybody the exact same horoscope, right? But they all had different birthdays, and like, oh, this is a Gemini's horoscope, this is a Leo's horoscope, right? They gave all different. They had all 12 represented, and they had them read it, right? And they all were like, yeah, I agree with this. This is pretty accurate. You know what I mean?
It's like super general stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to be kind of confused and kind of upset, but also enlightened and happy and satisfied at the same time. And it's like, oh, I kind of feel all of those kind of things at the same time ever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me guess, you're wearing glasses. But if you aren't wearing glasses, you've thought about wearing glasses.
Yeah. You're wearing clothes. Am I correct? Do you have a head? Am I right? Okay.
That's what they, yeah. That's how all those like seance people.
Yeah, no, but like I just think it's total BS. Like the chicks who believe in crystals, the chicks who literally believe like wearing quartz will like ward off spirits, or wearing like certain gemstones.
I love to say chicks as if it's not like, I mean,
it's
Brady
mostly women.
It is, but Brady put this stuff on. Brady was down to do it apparently.
He just played along with her floofy supermodel.
Oh my god, dude!
Just because it was so good. You know, it was so good for him for so long. Now he doesn't have to put up with that anymore. Or maybe she's making altars the other way. Maybe she's making like imprecatory altars so that he'll lose games now.
Dude, watch. He may not make the playoffs because the altar she's making for him.
And then he like calls up his ex-wife and he's like, "Hey, can you throw together an altar real quick? We got a wild card game coming up. I mean, for the kids, all right? For the freaking children, okay?
Kids, he's my daughter.
This isn't about you.
Yeah. My daughter barely remembers my third Super Bowl. Okay, we need to get another one. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, dude, that's hilarious. What I meant, by the way, about the birth thing was more of like they've shown that actually like the majority of people, when your cutoff date is, and I've talked about this, we're like, because August is a cutoff date for school, because I'm the oldest in my school now, right? Because I can either be the youngest or the oldest. If I'm the oldest, then that means I get a jump on it. It means I'm getting more likely to be like highly successful than I am to be unsuccessful because I'm the oldest. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's just where you're born. Where you're born throughout the year, like from season to season, I can see making a little bit more difference. But like me being born on May 30th, which is my birthday, versus me being born on like April 1st, it's like I'm still gonna be one of the younger ones of the.
Well, no, I mean unless the cutoff, but yeah, I'm saying unless the cutoff though is like May 30th, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Then that would be. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
That would change things for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of people in Canada, and not just Canada, but America too, they will hold their kid back a year before they start kindergarten. So like before they put them in a kindergarten, like let's say, I don't know what the age to start kindergarten. Is it like 6? Is it 6 or 5?
4, 5, 4, 5. 5.
All right. So let's say it's 5. Then they'll hold their kid back until they're 6 years old, one extra year. And then when they go to kindergarten, they'll be taller, larger, bigger, more educated. They'll be, like, you know what I mean? And
Nice.
and that will serve them throughout their, elementary school, junior high, and high school sports career, because then they'll have a little bit of a leg up on all the other kids.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll serve them in other ways too, academically, right? You know what I mean? And all those things.
Intellectually, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a year makes a big difference to 15-year-olds. A year doesn't make like any difference to a 40-year-old.
Well, it does. I mean, I almost skipped a grade, but I mean, really, I would just been the youngest in the grade. You know what I mean? And I almost skipped a grade because of that. You know what I mean? Because I was the oldest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm saying I would have been the youngest though if I had done that. And it can help. It depends on. That's the thing. It depends on certain things.
As a guy, it's always better. You always want to be the older ones.
Oh, right. For sure. But what I just meant though is that it's interesting how like those things can affect it. Yeah, dude. In terms of stars and astrological, where if Mercury's in retrograde or not, that doesn't.
It's blibbity blop.
Dude, I do for real though. Brady's like, hey, do you think you like make a little altar just so I can go, 50-50 this year,
She's making like a big wooden effigy of Tom Brady and like burning it. She's like, oh, I'm making an altar, all right.
It's freaking like
you wanted the yacht. I'm making the altar. Okay.
Wicker Man. It's like Wicker Man.
Yeah, I still want to see Wicker. I saw the scene in Wicker Man where they put his leg on the thing and then they like smashed his leg.
Are you talking about the Nick Cage one? There's 2. Yeah, the Nick Cage one's
there's 2.
Yeah, there's the original, which is good, and then there's the Nick Cage one, which is good, but for a different reason.
Yeah, well, wait, when did the first one come out?
73, I think.
Okay, what is it about? Is it about like cults, or is it about?
Kind of, yeah. It's just about like not a satanic cult necessarily, but it's about a cult that basically, is like running this town, and it's like it's hard to explain that because I don't know how to explain it. He just investigates because there's like a series of murders or whatever.
Is he a cop?
Yeah, he's a cop. But Nick Cage, though, he has that famous meme or GIF where he's like, not the bees. Yeah, not the bees, not the bees. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which, I don't know. I mean, dude, I don't think the bees would hurt nearly as bad as getting your legs broken, dude.
Yeah. Dude, hold up, though. For real, though, there should be an NFL team called the Bees. And then every time that like a team plays them, they should play that meme. Not the bees, not the bees. Like,
do you know there's a minor league baseball team here in Utah called the Bees?
Dude, that would be great.
Because Utah, I didn't know this until I got here. Utah is considered the beehive state. I didn't know that, but it's considered the beehive state. Utah has the largest amount of bees of any other state, and they have the largest diversity of bees of any other state. Like a crazy amount of bees. And beekeepers are like really big in Utah. Like I did a lot of houses when I was spraying pesticides, and they're like, "Don't spray my bee farm out there." And I was like, what? And they'd have like cases with the big sheets of honeycombs. And
Dude,
and
we should be bee farmers.
beekeepers with the face nets. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, that'd be kind of. The thing is, the only problem I think it'd be
I
really
don't like
cool.
honey that much though.
I was about to say that. I'd be really cool. Like, I'd be like a Coke farmer.
I would literally be doing it just for to sell the honey at like a farmer's market or something.
Yeah, I do like the idea of being a beekeeper. Like, I like the idea of just, I don't know, I like that idea of having all those bees and like taking care of them. But I don't like, again, the honey as much. I don't know. Honey's good, but it's not that good. Plus, dude, we knew who was that one guy that we had a college group with, his family was like a beekeeper family.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Anyways,
church, the Grace Church, the bigger one.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember, but anyways, yeah, one of them was like a beekeeper. And like, you know, he kind of told you what it was, right? Like, it's fun, kind of, but it's like every job, right? Like, every job has their advantages and disadvantages, you know?
That wasn't his occupation, though. That was just...
Well, no. But no, his family sold, though, honey, though.
Oh, okay.
So, like, no, it's not an occupation, but it's like a side hustle, you know?
I'm thinking about getting a side hustle about, like, selling different things on eBay or Amazon. Because, like, I was watching this video. There's people now, this day and age, that will go to like dumpsters of like Trader Joe's or Walmart, and they'll just find like sealed goods. Like sometimes, for whatever reason, like grocery stores will throw away goods without even being opened. So they'll, like, I watched this one video. These people found a bag of sunflower seeds unopened, like sealed in the package, and they just pulled it out and just wiped it down, and they just sold it on Amazon. Like literally.
Dude, I don't know. Here's the thing.
Same thing with like they had like a sealed thing of peanut butter, not opened, and they just
yeah, you had so many good ideas here, and then I was like down. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And then you mentioned the only things I would never take from a dumpster, which is food. I don't care if it's sealed or not.
I'm not eating the food. I'm selling it to someone without knowing that they ate
from a dumpster. Are you telling them you got it from a dumpster?
Of course not. Okay. I'm telling them I got it from a receptacle outside of a grocery store. And a receptacle could be any number of things.
Dude, I cannot imagine selling somebody some trash sunflower seeds.
But just because it's in the trash doesn't mean it is trash. Okay.
Okay, no, dude, but
if it's sealed in the package, that doesn't mean it's trash. It's not expired.
Dude, if I ate half a burger and then I wrapped it up and I threw it in the trash.
I'm saying I would be upset if I ate it and I found out it was trash. Don't get me wrong. I understand why my customers would be upset. But if they don't know, what they don't know is not going to hurt them. You know
Nobody's going to buy from you. This is on a podcast now.
Yeah, all 60 people aren't going to buy from me. That's great.
Dude, seriously, here's the thing. I think it's great for like certain things because I've seen like really expensive things actually in the trash. But I mean, dude, there's no way I could do food. I just couldn't do food. Everything else is on game. Is like free though.
All right, so you're telling me if you found a blender in the trash, but it was a working blender, it worked, everything was good on it. It was still in the box.
It's in the box. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. That's not crazy to do.
No, that's not crazy. It's just the food part. I don't care if the food's sealed. I just mean, because here's what I know. Walmart, dude, they could have tossed it because it had something really like...
If Walmart doesn't want it, what's wrong with it?
That's really messed up with it, you know what I mean?
For sure, I can see that.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like, so I may not even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things like that. I don't know. I mean, I've also been thinking. There's this place. Remember I was telling you about? There's this place near where I live called the Clothing Bank.
Yeah.
So there's a guy I know who he goes to the Clothing Bank because it's for those of you who don't know, the Clothing Bank is like just a place where you can get free clothes once a week, every Wednesday from like 1 p.m. to 7. And I was thinking, what he does is he just goes there and he like finds clothes that are like have some value, like, you know, like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, or like a nice shirt that he could sell somewhere or something, and he just sells it online. He just has his own, and it's just free money.
I mean, that's the thing though. That's kind of weird though, because it is for people to help people. I mean, I totally get it.
But there's such a surplus of clothes there. You could take like 10 shirts every day, and there would still be like.
If I were you, I would, because I think it's even better to do this probably. I would set up a thing like on Craigslist, because people will give you stuff. You know what I mean? There's certain things that Goodwill can't take. You know what I mean? And even then, dude, if you're willing to pick it up, if you have a service where you're willing to pick up clothes from their house, you don't think easily you could get them, and you could get a lot more from that too.
Yeah, I might be able to. Yeah, like we'll pick up your clothes for free.
Yeah, we'll pick up clothes, or like certain items, You could have a limit on it, and they could pay you. They could pay you to pick it up too.
That's a bit of a stretch. I don't know if people would do that.
Are you kidding me? When I worked at Goodwill, they paid people to pick up stuff.
I mean, I think most of the time they would just throw it in the trash or have you pick it up. I don't think they would pay someone.
Well, dude, what if it turns into like, hey, pay us to pick up your stuff, right? And then they go, and then it's like, actually, we'll pay you to pick it up. Like, please let us pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've actually, one scam that I was trying, it's not a scam, but like one thing I was trying to like one swindle that I was trying to go through, one scheme that I was trying to start.
One scam I was trying, okay, scam's a strong word, but it's not a scheme.
Who said scam?
Scam.
No, but one thing that I saw people doing, because I got really into metal scrapping and like how you can find different metals and you can just sell them to the scrapyard, get money for it.
Yeah.
And you can take those old the box TVs,
yeah,
the tube TVs. So those are called CRT TVs, cathode ray tube TVs, because it's like a tube. Like when you take it off, it's like a tube. That's why the screen is like rounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a big copper yoke inside every one of those, like a pound of copper in the back of all those, and there's a big copper like cable that runs around it. So I've seen videos on how to do it. You open up the back with like just a screwdriver, you take it out, you just pull the yoke off of it with your hands, and then just cut the cable, and then now you have like, and if you do that with like 20 different TVs, and just like every time you see one for free on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace, just pick one up. I mean, I'm saying it's like you get like $10 of copper every time. You know what I mean?
Really? That's pretty good.
So that's a good trick if you want to like get just free copper, and you store up that copper in like buckets, and you just bring those buckets to your nearest recycling center or scrapyard that is willing to like pay per pound. They'll give you like a certain amount of like 80 cents a pound or like $2 a pound or something like that.
Yeah. How much? Go ahead.
What do you say?
I was gonna say, how much a pound is do you think is in each TV? You said about a pound of copper a TV.
Around there. Yeah.
So you get $1 every TV?
Depending on the size of the TV, obviously bigger and smaller are gonna be different.
Yeah.
But
little tiny ones, and you're like, yeah, oh wow, this is a gift that keeps giving. You get 3 pounds of copper out of it, 50 pounds.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I could do that. I actually might do that right after this podcast. Now I think of it. Because it's like, why not? Because copper is worth a lot more than aluminum, steel, iron, like the basic metals that you would find like normally.
How much is copper the most expensive?
Copper is the most expensive, like easily findable, like the one that you're most likely to find. Like it's
I mean,
because obviously like silver, gold, platinum are more like valuable, but you're probably not going to find silver, gold, or platinum anymore.
And I mean, obviously uranium is going for pretty high on the market right now, but
uranium's skyrocketed.
So I mean, but you're not gonna.
Yeah. No, but I sold it to some Russian guy a few months ago. But,
plutonium's off the charts, but
yeah,
I've not had plutonium banks lately.
You can find gold in like microchips and like motherboards of like old electronics, but you're finding like the tiniest, smallest wires of gold. Like the gold that you would peel off of that would be like maybe $20 of gold. Like
I mean that's quite. You just literally listed off though. I mean, you said it, and I thought you were going to say like 50 cents, and then you said $20 of gold, and I thought I don't know. I don't know.
The thing is that scrapyards won't take it because it has so much other electronic waste attached to it, and you can't remove it without like exposing yourself to certain chemicals. So you literally have to send it to an electronics waste facility, which you'd have to like mail it to them, kind of thing. So you're not going to get any money for it.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, if you wanted to, there are DIY videos on how to remove gold from like motherboards and stuff like that, but it's a long, complicated process. Like it takes a while.
I mean, that's why you're getting $20 out of it, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if I spend 18 hours getting $20 worth of gold out of...
Dude, what if... Well, I'm assuming it doesn't take, because then nobody would do it if it took 18 hours.
That's what I'm saying. No one does do it because of how long it takes. You have to have like industrial-sized machines that like do it with like a ton of them at a time for it to be worth it. Whereas
Yeah.
like if you're doing it at home, the amount of time it would take you is not worth.
Dude, what if you like cut it open and you die instantly? And you're
Yeah.
Dude, no, I got a question, dude. You get it done and then you die, right? Does your wife still sell it for $20? Like, you know, like
He would have wanted me to have the $20.
you think she just spends it on like a Big Mac meal, Big Mac combo at McDonald's?
Yeah. My problem is I'm in a rural area, so the odds of me finding a box TV like that's not like 100 miles away is like hard. I mean, maybe. You never know.
Well, dude, I mean, you got a lot of options, right? Other than that, though, I mean, it's college town. You could definitely.
A lot of college kids are bringing their box TV.
Not box TVs. I meant you have other options, right? Like I meant like you could like sell a service. You know what I mean? You could like, hey, look, any time of day, at any moment, if you guys need a ride, like, you know, call this service. You know what I mean? And I'm saying you just give them a ride. I'm saying, like, because Uber is so expensive. You know what I mean? Dude, what if you made a rule, dude? It's $5 for any ride, anywhere, anytime, any place. $5. Like,
I don't care if you're going to Nevada. I'll do it. $5.
Dude, you're like, it's like you just keep on losing money. Dude, that sounds like a way that serial killers would get their victims.
If I did $5, I could do $5 rides in town, or like anywhere in town for $5.
$10 rides in town.
I could do that, yeah.
Dude,
$5, because I mean that's a better deal. Like if you give them $5 to go anywhere and back. Yeah. I mean, better than that.
That's true. Well, on top of that, dude, I mean, you could round out to where like you find the right pricing.
The problem is most of the town you can walk to, so it's like because it's not a big town.
Well, hold up though, but that doesn't mean that people wouldn't. You know, and sometimes people don't like walking.
That's true. That's true.
Right. Plus, what if it's raining out or if it's snowing?
Yeah. Well, then I don't want to drive either. Lose. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man. I mean, I might do some of that. I might do some metal scrapping. I just had an interview today with a guy who's a Lions fan. Said he hated my sweatshirt.
Lucky you.
I know. So I might get a job at a gas station coming up tomorrow.
You're gonna get a gas station job tomorrow?
I'm saying, well, yeah, because I talked to him today. I told him I could start tomorrow if he needs me to. Because
that's what you just say during interviews, though. You don't actually. Yeah,
but dude, I could do it. Though.
Yeah, dude. I've told people during the interview. I've literally I've been like, oh, you want right now? I'll throw on the uniform. Right now, I'll do it.
I said that before too.
I've literally been like, I will go. Like, I've been like, it's funny too because I've done it for really bad jobs that I wouldn't need to do that for. Jobs that they were already gonna give me, like that nobody would want. Yeah, you're just gonna be cleaning the toilet all day long. Right now, I'll jump on that right now. You want that? Hey, nobody's gonna take that job. Who's gonna take that job? That's like that's like your last hope for a job, right?
Yeah, there was a scene like that in Joe Dirt 2, where Joe Dirt was applying to be a janitor, and this principal was like, "You're a degenerate jerk off. I hate you. Why would anyone put you as like a janitor?" He's like accosting him for being like a white trash dude. And then right as he's talking, someone comes on the walkie-talkie that he has on his desk and said, "Hey Earl, we need you to come down to the boys' room. Someone made diarrhea all over the seat." And then he said, and he looked at Joe Dirt and he's like, "When can you start?" Because he wanted him to clean the diarrhea.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like you just like, I've done it for jobs that had no value for me doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, right now, I'll take this shirt off. I'll jump in. I'll sign whatever you need me to sign.
Yeah. Clean the floor with my tongue. I don't care.
Right? And it's funny because again, it's like jobs where you're like, they're like, it's good. We have enough people today. Like, you're fine. You know, it's never like a job that like pays like $40,000 a year. Or like, I mean, that's not even that. It's like it doesn't even pay nice. Like, you know, yeah, we're gonna pay you $2 an hour and you get tips. And you're like, what are tips like here? You don't get tips here. You know what I mean? Like, nobody tips you. You're just getting paid $2 an hour.
They say plus tips, and they're like, but just so you know now, there's gonna be no tips. Which is illegal. They have to pay you at least minimum wage.
Yeah. But it's funny though. It's funny to think that like that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's always the worst jobs though.
Just in case you were wondering about what it's gonna be like here, it's gonna be no tips. Okay?
It's gonna be bad.
You'll be lucky if all you get is no tips. Okay. And they're like, I've never seen someone so passionate about changing out bedpans before. That's pretty crazy.
I've never seen anybody so into putting in catheters. Oh, what's my job?
Never seen someone so into giving sponge baths to the elderly. It's pretty crazy.
I thought I was serving food. Oh no, that's the other position. Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't interview you for that position. They say you just like that.
Dude,
you.
I feel like that scene in American Beauty where like he goes to apply for like a fast food job and they're like, you have a college degree, you've made $100,000 a year, right? And they're like, you're way too qualified for this job, sir. Why would you want to work here? You know what I mean? Like they'll read off things and they're like, why would you want to work here? It's like, it's the only job I can find. It's the only job I can find. Like, what do you want me to say? You want to humiliate me right now? Do you think I wanted to put in my application? I mean, in that movie he did, but like they literally weren't going to hire him because he was too qualified. And I'm like, that
people I used to think it was dumb that people did that, but I think the reason why people do that is because they think that you're just going to leave right away for the better option.
Yeah.
If you get an option in like 3 weeks, you're just going to. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, like, well, sometimes you love a job though, you know. Like I know people have done lower paying jobs because they love the job.
But like, if they're working a job they can't live off of, you know what I mean?
Well, no, that's true. I meant like, so my friend Barrett, he worked in IT and he made like, you know, good money. And then he also worked at a restaurant though, like a fast food restaurant, not a fast food, but like like Panera. Yeah, like something kind of like fast food, not quite fast food, like a little classier. Anyways, and he loved it, but he loved it because at his computer job, he never interacted with anybody. He just was at the desk all day. So then when he would go do the work, you know what I mean? He would just interact with customers the whole time. Like he worked in the front, you know? And he just loved it, even though he got paid, you know, not very good.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that's how this next job will be. I mean, I've always kind of wanted to work at a gas station. I don't know why. But like ever since I was a kid.
It's cool. I just think of Clerks. I just think of Clerks every time.
Yeah, I know. And just like I think of just getting free ices and Slurpees and just I don't know, taking advantage of the system.
Are you working at a 7-Eleven?
No, it's just they have a lot of Sinclairs down here. The dinosaur.
Yeah, then legally you're not allowed to say Slurpee, actually, unless it's a 7-Eleven.
Well, the brand doesn't. I thought Slurpee was just a generic word for like any like icy, but icy and Slurpee are both brand names. So technically the right word to say is slushy. Which slushy just sounds like I don't want slushy.
Slushies are, I think that's what I used to call them, dude. A slushie? You never call them?
There's also a Slush Puppy, which is another brand.
Slush Puppy.
You remember Slush Puppy? What has the red and blue or the red and green?
Oh, yeah, Slush Puppy. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, Slush Puppy. That was like low. That's like great value.
This should be the image of the thumbnail. You don't remember Slush Puppies?
You don't remember Slush Puppy? But was it always red and blue or was it red and green?
I think it was red and blue when I was a kid. But dude, no, whenever I think of slushy, I think of like whenever you're driving in the snow and you like come by like that like half melted snow that's also like very watery and dirty.
It's like mashed potato.
Yeah, snow. Yeah. And you come on and you're like shh, and you're like it's a very specific sound.
It only turns into water right before it hits your face. Right as it like flies up, then it's water, and then it's never water any other time.
I just think of that specific sound, like the slushiness of the snow. It's like icy water.
Yeah.
Specific, but yeah, dude. Oh,
that noise, like
yeah, that exact. Yeah, that's what I think when I think of slushy.
Are there any other slushy brands that we can think of? Slush Puppy, Icy.
Look it up, dude. Icy,
Slurpee.
Slurpee was in Kansas, by the way.
What do you say?
Slurpees were started in Kansas. What about the? Okay, go wait. The slushies at Sonic.
That's not like a brand. I'm talking like a machine that you go up to and you get it yourself. You know what I mean?
Slushy brands. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, do they have a whole thing? Okay, dude, hold up. Quick Trip has a slushy thing.
But are they using a Slush Puppy or are they using a Quick Trip brand one? Okay,
so here we go. Slurpee, Icy, Thirst Buster.
Thirst Buster. Oh my!
A thirst buster.
Funny. Oh, dude, here's a slush puppy. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. Oh, so
Dude.
they have red, blue, green, purple, white, pink, and.
Dude, we have to start our own slushy company, dude. Because here's another one, Froster.
Oh, gourmet ice. Remember the one that just says gourmet ice at the top?
Yeah. Dells. You're a Dell?
Okay. I have not heard of Dells.
That's
Icy is the biggest thing that's popping up. Icy and slush puppy.
the original slush puppy.
There's something about Thirst Buster. I'm gonna look that up right now. Should I type in?
Just Thirst Buster.
That makes me laugh so much.
Ooh, Arctic Blast is one, I guess. There's this one that says the original slushy company, as if there was an original. Come on.
Well, dude, someone had to create that machine first.
Yeah, Slush Puppy, Juice 100. What?
Was Icy the first ones to create the slushy?
I feel like Slurpees were. I'm going with Slurpee. I'm not going to Google it. I'm Team Slurpee.
But Slurpee was found in like the 60s, I think. That's pretty old.
I think it was founded in like the 20s, dude.
No, dude. Slushy? Because I remember just recently they had a 50-year anniversary.
No, dude. Slurpee. Well, I guess historical story. I don't. What do you look up? History.
When were Slurpees invented?
In the late 1950s.
It says 1966 is when the Slurpees were invented.
Well, it says introduced to the market, but they were minted before that.
Well, the word Slurpee is a trademarked 7-Eleven word. So when you say Slurpee, you're only referring to the 7-Eleven Slurpee. You're not referring to any other Slurpee.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying they actually bought it from somebody else, though. It says
1966. The brand carbonated slushies. Brand first originated. It says it originated in 1966 on Wikipedia.
So right here. Well, I'm not doubting Wikipedia. I just mean it says the beginnings of the slushy drink in general. Oh, in general, I see. That's why. Dude, wait, listen to this story. Back to a man named Omar Nadilik, who in the late 1950s used parts from an automobile air conditioner to build a rudimentary frozen beverage machine. Dude, it says the original idea was conceived after Kedlick, I don't remember how I said that name, who operated a Dairy Queen franchise in Kansas City, stashed some soda pop in the freezer when the soda fountain in his restaurant went kaput. Which, by the way, they actually, in the article, it says kaput. It doesn't say, like, I didn't add that in there. Like, they had a very, like, professional sound, and then they put kaput as a word. It went kaput. He worked with an artist to develop a brand for his new slushy drinks, introducing the world to Icy. Yeah, so Icy is the first. Starting in Kansas City.
Well, I mean, so Icy, but here it says Icy makes the Slurpee machines.
Yeah, it's actually what it says too. Yeah, right here. It says 7-Eleven licensed them to make some. So it started with Icy, dude, in Kansas City. You know, also Pizza Hut started in Kansas City.
I just like the name Slush Puppy better than any of them.
Yeah. No,
it doesn't taste as good though.
I think Thirst Buster.
Thirst Buster is hilarious. What are some fun convenience store names, like gas station convenience store? There's Come and Go. There's a lot of quick ones. There's Quick Shop, KWIK.
There's two quick trips. There's Quick
Trip with a K and Quick Trip with a Q.
Yeah.
The Quick Trip with a Q is in the Midwest and in the South. And then the Quick Trip with a K is where is that?
It's like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas area. I mean, no, it's all in like it's still not
northern to central Midwest, yeah. And then there's Quick Stop.
Quick Stop for sure.
Yeah. There's the Phillips 60. Phillips 66 isn't really a convenience store though.
There's also there's a Quickie Mart, because Quickie Mart, even that's the Simpsons one.
I've heard of Quickie Mart.
Yeah, they actually do have real Quickie Marts though, because of the Simpsons.
I'm sure there was someone who probably already had a Quickie Mart.
Dude, I had one that was like Leave and Go or something. I saw one like that, but it was like it wasn't like a chain. It was like one of them. It was just like, dude, everyone was like, get what you need and get out, leave.
There's a chain of convenience stores in New Mexico called Allsups, and they're only in New Mexico. They even have the New Mexico plus sign and the Mexican flag. they have that on the Allsup's thing, and it's only in Mexico. Isn't that cool?
That's pretty cool. What if I was just thinking though? What if they had one that was like, get your things and leave this gas station now?
Oh, dude, you know what you should look up? That would be pretty crazy. But you know what you should look up is the gas station chain they have in Utah here that I've seen a bunch of times. They're called Holiday convenience stores.
Is that the one you're gonna be working at?
No, but it's here in Utah a lot, and it's called Holiday, and it has a creepy clown as their image. Holiday convenience store.
Utah convenience store.
Holiday Utah convenience store. Yeah, did you see the clown?
Let's see. I don't see the logo for some reason. I'm not.
What did you type in?
Holiday Utah convenience store. Maybe I spelled holiday wrong. I did. I spelled holiday like a last name.
Oh no, it's holiday like a holiday.
Not proud of that. Stop mentioning it again. No, I still don't. That's so weird.
Yeah, let me send it to you. But the clown image is so hilarious.
Dude, you're not allowed to contact me per court order. You don't remember that? No.
Yeah, the judge blocked us from communication.
You're not allowed, dude. Dude, you're gonna break the restraining order I have on you, dude.
That's why we're doing it on Skype. No, I just sent it to you on. I just sent it to you on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, dude. Let me see it. That's so funny. Oh, dude. That's the logo?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like a creepy clown, and that's outside every like convenience store.
It's not even. It's funny because it's not even like so creepy. It's just creepy enough where you're like, why would they? Right? Like, it's not like
they could make it. They could make it less creepy.
That's what I'm saying. Is that they made it to where like like I could seeing this in the middle of the night, like going to get gas. I could see myself avoiding the gas station to go get gas there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't want to look at it. Again.
It's definitely. I wonder if there was like a crazier version, and this is the toned down PC version. They're like, oh, you should have seen the logo we had before. He had his like fangs out, and he had like blood dripping from his hands. Like what?
I still can't get past I was just thinking about the Mountain Dew cheese flavored thing. Could you imagine what if they had like a pitching thing for the holiday like things, right? And one of them's like this one, right? And then they have another one and it's like clearly like just a man murdering people. Like, yeah, we really wanted this represents Utah. It's like, they're like they're
like, what's your name? Dahmer's. Or Dahmer's gas station.
Dahmer's.
Yeah, Dahmer's. We have human flavored slushies. And they're called slush bloodies.
Slush bloodies.
Slush bloodies. Yeah. And every flavor.
Slush bloodies.
Slush bloodies.
Can you think of anybody famous from Utah? I'm trying to think of a famous Utonian. I guess is how you'd say that.
Julianne Hough.
No, don't know. I mean, Mitt Romney. Dude, what if we had a whole gas station chain based off of Mitt Romney?
Steve Young went to BYU.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, Stevie. Dude, what was the Romneys?
Do you know that you have to be you have to be a Mormon to go to BYU?
No, I didn't. That's why. That's probably why I didn't go.
Yeah, because they were just begging you to go.
Dude, I got that. Yeah, dude, I had that scholarship, to go, and I had to turn it down because the Mormon thing got in the way. I'm Mormon though, but that's no, I'm not Mormon.
I'm a little less Mormon.
Dude, I think it's funny though to think like, could you imagine if they had Romneys? They just had that was like the thing. It's like
Mitt Romney
for president,
right?
It's just him and the
Diesel brothers are from Utah.
The Diesel brothers?
You know who the Diesel brothers are? They had a show on Motor Trend.
Dude, the Diesel brothers sound like a really like inappropriate like show. Like
it's whatever you're thinking right now. That's exactly what it is. It's not like, oh no, they're actually no. What you're thinking, that's what it is.
Dude, what about okay? What about I guess the problem with Utah is Utah's so spacious. Oh, dude, did the dude who cut off his arm? 127 hours. Is that guy Utah?
I think that was actually in Arizona, if I remember right.
Dang.
But the thing is that Utah actually has a larger population than Kansas, where me and you grew up.
I mean,
which is so crazy because the thing is that our population is so localized in like 2 counties, right on the border in Missouri. So it doesn't feel like a less populous state.
Dude, I'm looking at famous. Yeah, that's true. I'm looking at famous Utonians. Utahians. How would you say that?
I say Utahns. That's what they say, Utahns, which is gay. For the record, not a fan.
Utahns? That's dude.
Utahns. That's what they say.
Utonians is so much better. I think Utonians is better. Dude, here's the list. Hold up. I want to read you the list of famous people we got. Right here. This is just Google. It's just Google from Utah. Just Google. What they popped up first thing. I'll look up Kansas after this, and we'll just compare the states. All right. Philo Farnsworth, John Browning, who I think I've actually heard of, Steve Young.
I have. Wait. Did you do the Browning, the guns, like the Browning rifles?
I don't know. It doesn't say why.
There is like a gun company called Browning.
Yeah, firearms. Right? Yeah. Firearms.
Okay.
Steve Young, Jewel the singer, who sings a famous. I've heard a couple of her songs in the '90s. She was kind of famous. Okay. James Woods, Donny Osmond.
Oh, James Woods.
Yeah, James Woods is pretty big. I didn't want to.
He's an actual genius. His IQ like 186.
Well, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Donny Osmond, Nolan Bushnell, Butch Cassidy. Oh, Butch Cassidy's pretty big. That's a good one. I don't know if Kansas.
I know Butch Cassidy from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
He's like a Western guy.
But is he like an actual Western hero?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Stephen Coven. I don't know. Like now we're just getting into people we don't know. Byron.
This guy. Some of these guys may be as famous as we are right now. They have a certain number of followers and they're listing them.
Okay, dude. Here, Kansas people, famous Kansas people, and I bet the list is just gonna be.
There's actually a ton. There's a ton because there's Paul Rudd. There's Jason Sudeikis. There's like.
Well, on top of that, no. Even historical figures, like immediately the second one that pops up is Amelia Earhart. I mean,
is she from Kansas, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Dwight D. Eisenhower, yeah. Buster Keaton, classic. Bob Dole.
Harry Truman, did he come from the Kansas side or the Missouri side?
Came from Missouri. Dude, Jeff Probst. I'm sorry, but we just won.
Jeff Probst? No, yeah, we totally just won. Dude. That alone, that was the only one.
That was it, dude. That's all we needed. Really, I mean, come on. Dude, come on.
Can you imagine? He has like the easiest gig on earth. He can literally just go to all these beautiful places where people are struggling to survive, and he can just show up in flip-flops and just sunglasses and be like, all right, you're going to be climbing through mud. And like, that's his whole career. Like just being in resorts, being in the Bahamas and the Caribbean.
He quit for like a year or two, and then he went back on it, dude.
Yeah, dude, life got real adult real quickly. You know what I mean? Dude, he realized his options were pretty slim.
Also, we have Barry Sanders, right? Like, do I need to say anything else?
Holy crap! Are you for real, Barry Sanders?
Dude, seriously. We have a president.
I wonder how many Kansas City Chiefs are from Kansas? Because some people do like to try to see if they can play for the team.
That's true. Probably, I don't know. Probably not very many, honestly. I mean, I mean, that's a cool idea, but I mean, I don't know. My point is, though, dude, I think Kansas kind of beat out Utah. Like, here's the thing: Utah doesn't even have a president.
No, not kind of. I'm like annihilated Utah.
Utah doesn't even have a president. I'm sorry, but if your state doesn't even have a president, you're not on the same level.
First of all, only like 15 states have presidents.
All right, then 50. Then we're in top 15. Then we're in top 15 already. Then that's the company we're in.
And a majority of those are from Ohio and Virginia. Ohio and Virginia has a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Virginia, I think, has the most, right?
Virginia has so they have the most that are born there, but Utah has the most in terms of like people that claim residency. Or Ohio has the most in people that claim, like, say that they're from there, even if they weren't born.
Well, the problem with Ohio, you'd have to say Ohio's better than Kansas. I mean, I'm just thinking they have more presidents and they have LeBron James.
And they have 2 NFL teams. And they're the birthplace of football. The birthplace of football. They had an Akron team. There's been an Akron team, a Dayton team, a Columbus team. You know what I mean? There's a lot of teams.
Dude, Ohio's top 5 states ever, dude.
There's a Toledo team
at one
point.
Ohio, it's crazy to me that Ohio's even like, because I mean, honestly, I mean, Ohio's a tough one to beat. Like, California would probably be like number one just in terms of like they have more teams, they have more famous people, they have more, everything.
They have more people. Period.
They have 1/6 or 1/7 of the U.S. population. I mean, so it's not even fair.
54 million last time I checked.
Yeah, so they have a lot. Is the point? They have a lot more than they. I mean, the odds are right. Like that's why the craziest people come from California, and also the best people come from California. Right? Like you're gonna hit on both. You know.
That's true. That's true.
So like I don't know, but Kansas, dude. Kansas is probably. I mean, Kansas is top 15. I think Kansas is top 15 states.
Is it?
No, dude, no. Hear me out. Here's how I know too, though. Right? Here's the thing: we have a major city, but we don't even have to have any of the major city problems. Like all of the crime is on the Missouri side.
We really don't. I mean, like that's like saying Illinois has a major city in St. Louis. You know?
No, hold up though. But East St. Louis. Okay, but here's the difference. East St. Louis is one of the most dangerous cities. So Illinois has all the dangerous parts of St. Louis, but none of the which aren't very many parts.
That's why everyone hates Missouri because they have the better part of both cities. They have the better part of Kansas City, and they have the better part of St. Louis.
No, dude, they don't have the better part of Kansas City. You know what, too, though? You know
all
what?
Of the downtown is in Missouri. All of like where all the buildings are.
Okay, but like literally, like, dude, if you state line is like right where Patrick Mahomes lives, dude. Like, I'm saying that's how like.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely like if the state line's here, I would be like right there, right on the Kansas side.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody recognizes the Kansas side is better. Now, I'm not saying the cooler, but I'm saying with the downtown comes all the crime. All right, that's all I'm saying.
No, but like I like it personally. I love urban areas. I love being where all the action is, where all the by action I don't mean like sexual assault and crime. When I say action, I mean like the cool movies being shown, the opera house that I'm never gonna go to, but I like to know it's there. I like the cool buildings.
Hold up,
lights.
Dude, one of the best lookouts was at Overland Park Jazz Clubs. Okay, that's the only thing the city has. The only thing Missouri has that Kansas doesn't have is the jazz clubs. Okay, because that's not. You can't. You walk into a jazz club and you know how old it is right away. You can always just tell. You can feel it. It has like, you know what I mean. When we walked in the Green Lady Lounge, I don't know. You could just tell. You can tell it was. I don't know.
I think I want to have my ashes poured into the Missouri River.
Where is this coming from?
No, I just want to. I always thought it's such a waste of money to like pay for a coffin and to like pay for someone to like put makeup on me and dress my naked dead body. And like I would rather.
Let's just be honest.
What they're doing.
You don't want anybody to see you naked. That's really what it is.
I don't want to see me naked. So it's like I don't. It's just a lot of money, and not only that, it's a lot of money to get buried. But there's a time limit. You got to get things moving. You got to get everyone there in a few days because I'm going to start to smell pretty quickly. All right, it's not going to take that long. And I just think that, dude, if you get cremated, you can plan your funeral like 3 months out, you know, and you can make sure that everyone's there. Obviously, you yourself aren't planning it.
I was going to say, what do you mean you can plan it out? Are you trying to tell me something, Ethan?
I'm just saying, I'd rather that, and then I can have my ashes. I want to get my ashes poured in the Missouri River, and it'll float down into the Mississippi River, and it'll float into the Gulf of Mexico.
The Missouri River on the you mean the Kansas River, right? Because you would never want.
No, all right. The Missouri River is on the border of Kansas and Missouri, so it's technically a part of Kansas as well.
Yeah, but never on the Missouri. You never want Missouri, right? You never. Dude, what if
just make sure you pour me from the Kansas shore, not
dude. What if any of your ashes that ended up in Missouri, they like instantly just like spark a fire like out of nowhere, and screaming happen, like you just hear you scream. Ah!
Some homeless dude is taking a dump on the Missouri side, and like, let's go a few miles upstream before we dump these.
Dude, I'm gonna pull. Okay, if I'm still alive when you have like your ashes, you know, and you want them like set free, I'm gonna pull a Donnie. I mean, I'm gonna
just toss me in the face of someone else.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the wind picks up and blows you, and I'm gonna like, you know, man, Ethan was such a good friend. I'm gonna toss mine out, and they're gonna hit the person behind me right in the face.
There's this one YouTuber that I listened to who he said he wanted his ashes to be sprinkled in and baked into a Papa John's pizza, and then he wanted his family to eat it in honor of him. And I'm like, that's so hilarious.
I think
Pepper.
Yeah, I think I want my family to do a line. There's a clean line of me.
Oh, like a line of Coke?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna line them up.
Like off a mirror? It has to be off a mirror. And it has to be with $100 bill.
You can't have anything less, dude. You can't. What is that, a 50? You think that's all it's worth? 50?
Your 7-year-old brother and sister are going to be like, all right, this is what Bobby wanted. They're just going to be like...
No, dude, I think I'm going to be buried, like, normal.
Okay. I was just thinking cost-wise. Because I don't want my family, when they're, like, sad about me dying, have to, like, spend, like, thousands of dollars. You know?
Well, no, I totally agree. I just think, to me, it's, like, one of those things where, like, I don't know. I've always thought I'd have I'm going to be buried, like, I'm going to have my family. I'm going to buy plots for us all.
Have you seen those mushroom coffins that they make in the Netherlands that you can buy here?
No, what are they?
So they make a coffin out of mushrooms. So what they do is they take this, like, edible material and they make, like, mushrooms out of it. And then, so what happens is that they put your body inside of it with some sort of decomposable burlap that you're wearing and then the organisms will eat the mushroom and eat your body and you'll be, like, absorbed into nature. You're not gonna, like, you know what I mean? Which I think is really cool.
Yeah, no, that is cool. That is cool.
You're not polluting, because I don't know. The thing is that I was always dumb. Why would you be buried to something valuable? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you have, like, a cool pocket watch that was with you? Because then it's like, now only you have that pocket watch. No one else gets to have it.
Not even you have it because you're dead.
Just your dead body has it. And I'm like, it's so dumb to bury someone with a ring or to bury someone with, like, something that is valuable.
I think sometimes it makes sense because you have to put a shirt on, right? Like, I mean, what if they literally, you just sit in there shirtless and they're like, yeah, we don't want to be buried.
Face down, brought up, just naked to the world. Don't even wipe me all the way. I don't care. Just crank my head like an owl and just make it to where my face is facing up.
Yeah, you're literally, like, facing. It's just your shoulders.
Just break my neck and so where it's facing up.
This is what Dad would have wanted. You're like, kids are like, this is exactly how I remember him.
all the excess gases are leaking out of my butt. My decomposing body.
You have one eye, like, winking at him.
I don't think that's intentional. No. Okay.
What do you? You're like, the people are like, oh my god, did he just wink with the other eye? The other eye? No, wasn't he winking like this? And you know to where it switches every 10 seconds. And they're like, I just saw him move, dude. Have you seen the one? I've seen a video where a guy had, like, a speaker in the coffin, and when they opened it up, he's like, I'm not really dead, right? That was, like, the joke. And then he's like, no, I am dead, sadly. But I remember thinking, like, that's pretty intense. I mean, the roller coaster of emotion that you just sent your family down just for a little bit of a laugh that you don't even get a laugh at. Like, yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, for sure.
Could you like, dude, what if you made it to where your body jumps out of the coffin, like, and, like, onto your wife?
That would be pretty crazy. Yeah, like a spring-loaded thing. It comes out, like, my head's all, like, flopping, and my mouth is open.
Off. He miscalculated. You shoot up so high, your head falls off.
Oh my gosh!
You're so violent with it. Oh man!
You want to talk about hidden gems?
Yeah.
We head out in our final segment. I'm trying to think of one real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Hidden gem for me. Have you seen Bangkok Dangerously? No, not. Is it Bangkok? Is it the one with Nick Cage? Bangkok Dangerously? Bangkok. Bangkok Dangerous, I think.
I've actually seen that.
Yeah, that's a good one. The one with Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my hidden gem pick is Bangkok Dangerous.
Okay.
I like the action in that one. I think it's really, like, I just like the vibe too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of the recent ones I've seen have been somewhat well known. Let me see here. Check.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this really good Simon Pegg movie that I've been wanting to rewatch. I watched it a while ago. I haven't watched it again since. But Run, Fat Boy, Run with Simon Pegg.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That's a very good one. I remember really liking that.
I remember thinking it was such a weird premise, though. Right? Like, I just mean, like, I don't want to bring it up, but exactly, like, ruin it. But, like, the idea that, like, you know, you couldn't finish anything, and so then, like, oh, like, you need to finish the marathon. Like, I mean, what does that prove? He's still the same guy.
I mean, I don't know. know. I guess the idea is that he doesn't want to like be a quitter. He wants to be committed to things because like his ex-wife or ex-fiance, I guess, still didn't like buy in on the idea that he was going to be a good husband. Like, you know what I mean? Because she was still
running a marathon. What does that have to do with being a husband? Right? Like, I mean,
no, but it brought out the worst in the other guy that she was with, and then it brought out the best in him.
Yeah, yeah. No, I remember that. I just meant like, I mean, I remember
in and of itself, it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me of when you're talking about the sports thing, where you're like, because I'm good at, you know, tossing a hacky sack or a beanbag around. Like, obviously, this woman's gonna desire me, right? Like,
of course she will.
Of course.
Like, without even thinking, even a little bit the other way, that would not gonna do anything.
That's not. Yeah, I mean, but that's what it reminds me of. We're like, oh, dude, if you run the marathon, like she's, like, you know, she's gonna marry you now. Like, you got it. You're good. Keep running. Run, fat boy, run.
That movie pretty much was like, that is what will happen.
Yep.
that movie's
it
like,
just reaffirmed, it just, yeah.
That's what's gonna happen if you run that marathon.
Oh, exactly. They're like, yep. Hey, the way you think is exactly. Yeah, dude. Movies. When you're a kid and you watch a movie, they're so far off from like reality. Sometimes it's funny.
But you're so removed from like adult life that you're like, okay. I mean, I guess
that's
like,
how.
Yeah.
You know how many times I'm sure somebody thought like, oh, dude, this pickup, like, you know what I mean? How many times have you used like a stupid Adam Sandler pickup line and then been like slapped or like, you know, turned the other way or like, you know what I mean? Like rejected hardcore way more than Adam Sandler ever got rejected in his movies. You're like, I guess that didn't work at all. I guess I have none of the charm of Adam. I'm significantly more attractive than Adam Sandler, but I guess I'm not.
It's like the scene in Hacksaw Ridge when it's like the 1940s. You know, Andrew Garfield playing this like World War II guy, and he walks up to the nurse and he's like, "You must be a nurse because you stopped my heart." And then they just got married, and that was it. And I was like, "That's all right. So that's it. So that's all it takes." I must have been doing something wrong, man.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's so crazy, you know. And it's not like it just mean like, yeah, you have these stupid lines, you know. And it's like I think I don't know. They should. Why aren't they working for me? And then you try it out again, like you try it out a second time, and it gets even worse.
Like the thing is that you also have to be attractive enough, charming enough. Like there has to be enough prior interest.
You know
those things.
You know what I'm missing that Adam Sandler has that I don't? A lot of money. You know, that's what he's got going for him.
Because there's nothing attractive about him as a person. I mean, I'm sorry. He's just not a good-looking dude. He never has been, even when he was young. Like, I mean, he was in shape. He was fit.
That's the thing too. He is kind of in shape. Like that does help too, though. Like he's not.
He was in shape for 3 years, and he's been.
He's not Chris Farley. Is my point. Like, and I love Chris Farley.
I mean, is the standard? He's not Chris Farley. Is that like the standard for good looking? Because to me, that's not the standard. I mean, he's not Michael Moore, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think David Spade, do you think he's always been in shape?
He was like the skinny, nerdy guy for like the earlier part of his career, all the way up through Joe Dirt. Remember Joe Dirt? He was
yeah. But I mean, even now, he's still.
Joe Dirt was like a big turning point for him because then he was like the skinny, nerdy, pencil pusher, like snobby guy in a lot of the movies and a lot of the SNL sketches that he did. And then he did Joe Dirt. And then after that, he was like I'm going to bang your mom. I'm going to like have a goatee and I'm going to be like the party guy. And,
I'm going to have a goatee. I love how you threw in the goatee part.
But then he had like longer hair and he put on like 20 pounds. And he was like the guy, like in Grown Ups, like he was like the troublemaker. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it's so weird that he was able to switch. And then the newer movie he did, the Do-Over, which I really loved, which is still in my top 100. He was like the nerdy guy again. He like went right back. And the same with The Wrong Missy. The Wrong Missy, he was like a nerdy guy too.
Dude, The Wrong Missy was pretty funny.
I love The Wrong Missy. The girl, I think it's Lauren Lapkus is her name, but she was really funny in that. I liked her in that.
Yeah, they're both. I think that one was pretty good. I wish these movies were shown.
That huge knife with like the blade was like this wide.
Yeah, I do wish though they'd show those movies in theaters. I'm disappointed they don't show comedies in theaters anymore quite as often.
They probably did do a limited run in like L.A. or New York for like a week or something like that, but it wasn't like a national like, you know.
I know. I just missed that as a kid, dude. I used to go to comedies a lot as a kid.
Well, the 2010s I think were the 2000s and the 2010s were like the best decades for comedy. I mean, yeah, This Is the End. You had The Other Guys. You had like.
Well, 2010s is like when it died out. You know what I mean? Because like what you look at,
the first part of the 2010s, like up to 2015.
Up to 2015, yeah. I was about to say that's like right when it starts switching. Now you hardly see any comedies in there.
I think just with the presidential election of 2016 and 2020, people got so much more focused on politics. I think that dominated a lot of media. A lot of like
I mean, I think also streaming though is just so much more popular. Like if you're Adam Sandler, you can make whatever movie you want as long as it just goes to Netflix. I mean, why wouldn't you?
That's true. And for every good one he makes a bad one too. So it's like if it's a bad
he makes like 5 bad ones, but I still like them all.
I think it's 1 per 1. It's, you know what I mean. I think he makes a bad one and then he's like, all right, we got to try on this one now. Okay, like I think he makes a good one because the week of Sandy Wexler and Hubie Halloween are complete train wrecks of a movie. Like all 3 of those.
I find some of those funny. Now,
but
I find
like
the way that I find Duck and Chino funny. You know what I mean? Jack and Jill.
That scene was hilarious, and he's like, "Burn this!" Like,
well, what? No, we're gonna cut like 3 seconds off. This isn't the final cut. I just burn it.
So you can take 3 seconds off at any different point in the commercials.
I still want you to burn it.
I want everyone who saw this commercial to talk to.
Yeah, to be talked.
And no, but like, so there are some good ones. Like he made Ridiculous 6, The Do-Over, and Adam Sandler, even though he wasn't in The Wrong Missy, he directed and produced The Wrong Missy. And so, like, those are all 3 very good movies. I think I loved. So
well, yeah, I actually like, and I do like Hubie's Halloween. I don't know. I know you're like
it's a total kids movie though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you just gotta like filter your expectations. Like for instance, I think I walked into Pixels, you know, the Adam Sandler one, and I don't know. I think I was just in that movie kind of sucked in my opinion, right? But like, I think if I'd been in a better state of mind, you know, I should have. I don't know.
Bedtime Stories was great. I love Bedtime Stories.
That's a good one.
That was a good heartfelt one that could be for adults and for kids. Same with Big Daddy.
Yeah, my favorite though is by far. I'd say it's either Click or 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates was nice. It got a little too romancy near the end. I don't know.
I like that. See, I liked that though. But yeah. I mean,
it's just for what you're looking for.
Yeah. You know? In terms of comedy, I think his funniest is probably Happy Gilmore. I mean, I don't know. That thing is just so like. I love.
That was his heyday. Happy Gilmore, or no? You mean Happy Madison?
No, Happy Madison. Yeah,
I would get that confused. Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Because those are his 2 first movies, I think. Well, Overboard, but those are his first 2 big movies. So that's the name of his production company. It's Happy Madison.
Overboard is one of the worst movies of all time. It's on my horrid list. It's awful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unwatchable. Have you ever seen it?
No, never.
The movie is he's on a boat. That's the movie, and it's not like. Nothing eventful happens.
Dude, we need to find something we can watch with the audience, and we need to watch it. And we just need to roast it, like one of those.
Something we've already seen. We could roast the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That's free to watch though. We should find something that we can watch because I don't think we can show it at the same time. Well, no, I meant like show it at the same time and like still be able to you know what I mean? Like I think that like there's copyright.
No one's claiming. Star Wars Holiday Special. Like literally, it's been on YouTube for 6 years. No one's taken it down. So,
yeah, we'll have to look into. But we should roast him. We should do some like.
Ben is the worst movie in my opinion of all time. I told you about that movie.
Yeah. I thought you said Ben. You know, there's a movie called Ben and Arthur that's really bad too. I've heard about.
Oh really?
It's funny when you say Men because I really think The Room. I mean, I don't know how you could get much worse than that.
The Room was bad, but it was still funny. Ironically funny. Men,
but does that make it bad?
So bad that it made you like rethink.
Yeah, I always say that the worst movies are always so bad they're just bad. They're just bad.
It's so bad. It's like if they had been a little bit less bad, it would have been funny. But then they pushed it too far, and they were so bad that it just sucks so bad. But I haven't seen I saw the movie, the documentary 50 Worst Movies Ever Made, and I was telling you about that, about how almost all of them are from the 50s and 60s, and I haven't seen any of those. And those are like Frankenstein versus Mars. And like, you know, like
yeah,
all kinds of weird ones like King Kong versus the Bride of Frankenstein, like zombies versus the bad ones.
I'm sure that documentary came out before the modern wave of awful cinema because I can assure you we probably have our own.
2003 is when it came out. So.
Dude,
even before The Room was made.
Dude, we should 2003 I think like right right then.
Oh,
Dude, we should watch like some of those bad, because there's one I was watching the other day called Cool Cat. It is so bad, dude. I might have to show you after the podcast is over, dude, because it is atrocious.
Want to watch Meet the Spartans, because that was a #1 for a long time on IMDb's list of worst movies.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's not.
Isn't it just a spoof movie? Like,
Yeah, it's just stupid. It's just stupid.
Really? Okay. I the 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it. That was a pretty funny spoof movie. But I mean, if you look at it for like movie value, it was pretty, for production value and everything.
Yeah, I just mean like, yeah, dude, those, I want to watch the ones that are like awful. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you decide to have your daughter play 3 roles, even though she's 5.
Yeah.
She plays a 31-year-old woman right here. Okay.
Maybe that's a little young for a sex scene, but I'm just joking.
Oh,
that would be crazy. That would be crazy. All right. Any final thoughts for the audience?
Yeah. Kansas is better than Utah. We've discerned that. Thirst Buster is the best Slurpee, or a slushy, I should say.
Best slushy name, at least.
Yeah, and eggnog is the best holiday drink.
Okay.
Ooh, dude, best Christmas movie.
Chocolate.
Yeah, best Christmas movie is probably It's a Wonderful Life. I didn't say that earlier, but that'd probably be my favorite.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But anyways, those are my final thoughts.
All right.
You have any
my final thoughts is I wish I was Kevin McAllister in New York City in the hotel room in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And I wish that he had never met the pigeon lady that had pigeon poop all over her, because that was weird. And
you mean Piers Morgan?
Is that her name?
No. Everybody else says it looks like Piers Morgan.
It does look like Piers Morgan. That's so awful. He deserves it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways. Thanks for listening, and Merry Christmas from the Downkirk Podcast.